Welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show. News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. Joining us on the phones right now. Always a pleasure to visit with our next guest, Erin Perrine, Principal Deputy Communications Director for the Trump 2020 campaign, joins us here on the Chad Hasty Show. Erin, good morning. Welcome back. How are you?
I am well. Thanks for having me back. How are y'all doing?
We're doing great. We appreciate you joining us today. I guess let's just start off with the campaign in general. How are things going for the Trump reelection campaign?
Things are going really well for the president's campaign. Last week, we had a national week of action where we trained volunteers and engaged them across the country, making 10 million voter contacts last week via phone on this campaign. And since April 1st, with our online original broadcast at every night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time across all of our social platforms, we hit 374 million views. Wow. When it comes to the enthusiasm and the support for President Trump, voters are engaged, and we have much higher enthusiasm than Joe Biden could ever dream of. I
was about to say, it seems like when the former vice president has a live webcast, there's technical glitches all over the place. Sometimes seagulls take over and drown them out, and only a few thousand people kind of trickle in throughout the video.
Yeah, Joe Biden has a real enthusiasm problem in the Democrat Party, where he is currently at the lowest level of enthusiasm for any Democrat in modern presidential political history, and it continues to lag. Not only is he a poor candidate with really bad policies, but he's boring to watch, and voters aren't engaging with that. Contrast Sleepy Joe, who doesn't even remember the word coronavirus yesterday, with President Trump, who is on his toes, punching back and fighting for the American people. It's an easy contrast, and it's easy to see why there remains record-high enthusiasm for President Trump.
You know, there have been a few news stories just the last few days about the Biden campaign and the I guess, concern that there's not a lot of outreach towards Latino voters, and that Latino voters will maybe move towards the president. I think here in Texas, you guys have already seen that happen, and I think in other places as well. But there's been a lot of concern there. So today, apparently, Cesar Chavez's granddaughter has joined the Biden campaign. I don't know if that moves the needle at all for Biden, but what are your thoughts?
When it comes to the Latino vote in this country, it is certainly one we feel on this campaign will come strongly more into the fold for President Trump, because we have a record and a candidate who defends their values and what they want in this country. Joe Biden believes in bigger government and socialism, which many Latinos fled. And so when we contrast that, Joe Biden's campaign even went as far as to admit that they don't see the Latino vote as one that they think they're going to need to win in 2020. I mean, it's unbelievable. The first coalition that Team Trump rolled out was Latinos for Trump. And that's because we know the president's message resonates. They believe in safe and legal immigration, because we know that those who have come and immigrated to this country for the freedom and the opportunity that exists don't want to see people be able to come here illegally and cut in the front of the line when they had to work and become an American citizen. So we know that the message resonates when it comes to family values and pro-life values and freedom and never allowing this to become a socialist country. Joe Biden has taken Latino voters for granted, and that is a vote that we fight for every day on the Trump campaign with the president's strong record.
Visiting with Erin Perrine here on the Chad Hasty Show. Erin, there have been a couple of stories out recently about seniors, senior citizens, and maybe that demographic not polling as well with the president. What are you guys seeing internally? Does that match up to what you are hearing?
This far out, any polling, especially national polling, is always going to be very flawed and very skewed. And it's very easy for them to skew the data whatever way they want to try and make this look like the president doesn't maintain support with elderly populations. But let's remember, President Trump has taken bold and decisive action, not only to protect senior citizens and the vulnerable population during the coronavirus, but to be able to protect them in these years of their lives. he is a president who fights for every American. And we know on this campaign that those in the vulnerable populations, those who are elderly, just want to get the facts and know that their government is fighting for them. The mainstream media doesn't want to do that, so we continue to engage. And we know that this is a group of Americans who want a better opportunity for those who are yet to come. And that's what this president stands for. We feel very good about where we stand with senior citizens in this country.
Erin, and of course you're with the Trump 2020 campaign. There's nothing like a Trump rally. And I was at the one in Dallas. The electricity, the camaraderie, it's a special event for so many people. And I know for the president, he loves them. Do you think you guys are going to be able to get back to that during this campaign? Because I'm sure the president would love to do a lot of these type of rallies.
The president certainly wants to get back out there and hold rallies when we are safely able to do so. And that's something that this campaign certainly wants to do, because the president loves being the most accessible and open president in American history. And that means engaging with voters at rallies. I mean, if you saw him in Pennsylvania just this last week when he was driving up to go look at a production facility that was helping fight in the coronavirus, you saw the streets lined with supporters, with people who support their president and who are excited to see him even drive by for a moment. So as soon as we safely can, we absolutely want to get back to those rallies. And you're right, there is nothing like a Trump rally.
Erin, thank you so much for joining us today and spending a little bit of time updating us on what's going on with the reelection campaign. We wish you well, and we'll visit with you again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Erin Perrine with the Trump 2020 reelection campaign.